also 1978, the Buddy Schumann Award 1986, and the National Motorsports Press Association George Cunningham Award in 1988. All right. Now I was going to get to that last week, but we ran out of time, so we did it this week. But I couldn't get through without getting that. So I always catch the. Now I'm not a Hall of Fame guy, but I always like to catch the NASCAR Hall of Fame because you learn a lot of stuff. Now, so we got some news here. What we're going to talk about? Let's talk about. All right, we'll talk about Martinsville, and I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to talk about it later, but Martinsville, which has announced 2-day schedules, this applies to the full Martinsville races. First on Saturday, October 28th, there will be a, quote, old school field, as there will be a NASCAR happy hour practice session. So if you're down there on October 28th, Saturday ticket holders will get to watch the Cup Series practice prior to the truck race. Which is cool. So and they're doing it on Sunday too. Now this is for the fall, so we're going to repeat this when the fall comes. I just found this out yesterday. Of course, and then you go there on Saturday, you get to watch the Cup drivers practice, then you get to watch the Truck Series race, but then also on Sunday, October 29th, Sunday ticket holders will get to watch. Now what they're doing here is they're also doing Cup practice and prior to the Cup race on Sunday, which is cool. And now some more news came out today that Watkins Glen will be also doing the same thing. We got to do some more research on that. I was breezing through that online earlier this afternoon. But on Sunday, October 29th, Sunday ticket holders will get to watch Sunday Cup Series practice prior to the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race. SourceNASCAR.com. So on Cup Day, there's going to have practice and racing on the same day. Now note, this does apply to the full Martinsville races, October 28 and 29. Springtime Martinsville races are on April 1st and 2nd. In fact, after this weekend, NASCAR heads to Atlanta. Weekend after, it's the West Coast swing, and then when they come back to the East Coast, Martinsville will be the first stop. So Rex Ryan, what was Rex Ryan doing at Daytona 500? Which I didn't even know he was there. I found this out. Buffalo Bills and former Jets head coach. Not only was Rex Ryan in attendance, but he was wearing a Los Angeles Chargers polo. So, I don't know what's up with that. But speaking of Daytona, how about the TV ratings? And it's some good news here, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is. Fox Sports Go, and Fox Deportes, which is NASCAR TV partners, average an audience of 12 million viewers. Peak time was between 6:15 and 6:30 p.m. Eastern when Fox, the big Fox, clocked in over 14 million viewers. Some other stats: household ratings for men ages 18 to 34 was up 10% compared to last year, a 2.2 share. Now, adults 18 to 34 rose 13% to a 1.8 share. So the men ages 18 to 34 up 10%, 2.2, which ties a 4-year high. And household ratings for men ages 18 to 49 ticked upwards by 9%, which gave them a 3.7% share. Adults 18 to 49 rose 4%. Men 25 to 54 also rose 4%, a 5.2 share. Adults 25 to 54 rose by 3. Now get this, Fox predicts that the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, will be the highest viewed sporting event of the weekend. And get this, a better rating than Super Bowl 51. I guess a lot of folks thought that they were rooting for the Falcons, probably tuned out after the second half started. It was either that or Lady Gaga, I don't know, but I was kind of rooting for Atlanta. Market share, according to cities, okay, a handful here. Greensboro, North Carolina had a 17.5 market share. Greensville, South Carolina had 16.5. Indianapolis, the mecca of motorsports, if you will, got a 14.4. Knoxville, Tennessee, 12.7. Jacksonville, down in FLA, got a 12.4. And the biggest gain was actually in Austin, Texas, with a 111% growth over 2016. So there you go. Now the first televised Daytona 500, ladies and gentlemen. We should all know this. 1979. All right. All right, so now we got this. We do this little thing we like to call the history of the numbers. Whatever number crosses the finish line, we do a little write-up on it. And, of course, last Sunday, Kurt Busch, winner of the Daytona 500, driver of the 41 car, and drives the 41, Stewart-Haas Ford to victory lane. And now it's time for Motorsports Radio's history of the number 41. And going back to 1949, the NASCAR Strictly Stock Series, Curtis Turner, 1949 to 1951, with 5 wins, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s, and 34 races. Also 1952, 7 races with 1 top 5, 1 top 10. Now, also Curtis Turner, again in 1953, 18 races with 1 win, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, and then 1959 for 6 races with 2 wins. Now, other drivers that drove the number 41, 1952, Jimmy Llewellyn and Jim Pasco. King Richard Petty, 1964, who raced for 7 races and 1 win. Also Maurice Petty, 1964, and also Lee Petty. So right there, all 3 Pettys. But back to 1963, Richard Petty raced in 14 races with 5 wins, 8 top 5s, and 10 top 10s. Richard Petty with the most wins with the 41 car. May 2nd, 1963, the Columbia 200 Columbia Speedway, according to driveraverages.com, and driving the 41 Plymouth, top 5 finishes for the 1963 Columbia 200 was Richard Petty for the win, Buck Baker coming in 2nd, Ned Jarrett coming in 3rd, Bud Baker comes in 4th, and coming in 5th was Jack Smith. So that's the 41, 87, 11, 7, and the 47. Kurt Busch takes over the 41 car in 2014. Reed Sorensen was driver 2007, 03, and 05. And then we have Reed Sorensen 2007, Casey Mears 2003 to 2005, Joe Nemechek 1994, and A.J. Foyt 1972. Car 41 stats, 1,039 races, 27 wins, 119 top 5s, 236 top 10s, 508 top 20s, 24 poles, laps led 3,363, total laps 244,343, and then we got also stats from, these are stats now from June 19th, 1946 to February 26, 2017. All right, so that was it, the history of the numbers. All right, so some news. Joey Logano gets re-signed for contract with Roger Penske Racing, and they got this thing, and they're calling it 2022 and beyond. All right, they have a hashtag for it and everything. But here it is. Joey Logano, Roger Penske re-signs Joey Logano for a deal until 2022 and beyond, source fan cited. Also, sponsor of the 22 Ford returns as sponsor of the Pennzoil Shell. And there is a hashtag 22 and beyond. The announcement was made last Friday. Now, Logano says that he knew his entire life he wanted to be a NASCAR Cup driver. Logano, who raced for Joe Gibbs Racing, but after the 2012 season, JGR decided not to re-sign Logano, and Logano then signs with Team Penske in 2013. Man, I kind of think about that, and it's kind of funny because the Team Penske duos always seem to be messing up JGR. Sometimes you get those. If you saw the Clash Daytona, that's what happened. You had 4 JGR cars up front. Keselowski comes in, bumps out Denny Hamlin, and then Joe Logano brings that 22 to the finish line. So it's always like the little drama between those two teams. So Joe Logano in the 22 car recorded 15 wins, 65 top 5s, 96 top 10s for a total of 41,103 total laps. And out of those total laps has led 3,466, source driveraverages.com. 3 wins in 2016, 6 in 2015, and 5 in 2014. and in 2015, Daytona 500 winner. Prior to taking on the number 22, drove the number 20 for JGR 2009-012, which is another funny thing. If you saw 2015 during the chase when Joe Logano got knocked Matt Kenseth loose and went to finish that race and advance. Well, actually, he swept that whole round. It was round of 12. He swept, remember? And he had that little drama between Kenseth and Logano when Kenseth put Logano into the wall at Martinsville, which was intentional, by the way. He got suspended for that. 144 races in the number 20. Also, two races in the number 96. Also raced one race in the number 02. And the 02 car in 2008. Also the 96 car in 2008 as well. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this week's power rankings. For those who want to know who's on the list this week, 20 cars, 20 drivers, I should say. Power rankings as the action now heads to Atlanta. Number 1 right now, it's Joey Logano. Number 2, Kevin Harvick. 3, Kurt Busch. 4, Chase Elliott. 5, Denny Hamlin. 6, Jimmy Johnson. 7, Kyle Busch. 8, Brad Keselowski. 9, Martin Truex Jr. 10, Kyle Larson. Dale Jr. number 11, Matt Kenseth number 12. 13, Ryan Blaney. 14, Austin Dillon. 15, Casey Kane. 16, Jamie McMurray. 17, Clint Boyer. 18, Daniel Suarez. 19, AJ Allmendinger. And number 20, it is Paul Menard. All right, penalty updates and the schedule, ladies and gentlemen. We're plowing through this. How y'all doing out there? You doing good? I can feel spring coming, ladies and gentlemen. A little windy today out on Long Island, where we come from, but it was beautiful out there. So looking very forward to this nice, beautiful springtime weather. So far, we only got clouded once with snow. So hope that's it for this year. Penalty update. Richard Petty Motorsports, number 43. Team penalized lug nut violation. According to NASCAR.com, lug nuts were not properly installed. Crew chief Drew Blickensderfer was fined $10,000. And NASCAR fines are pretty hefty. The 43 Ford, because in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, driven by Eric Almirola. And in the Xfinity Series, also a lug nut violation for JD Motorsports 01 team. Crew chief Patrick McGee fined $5,000. The 01 Chevrolet driven by Harrison Rhodes. So a very short penalties list this week. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to the point, as we always do at this moment in time. Okay, it is time for Motorsports Radio's racing schedule. NASCAR this weekend, upcoming weekend, heads to Atlanta. Atlanta Motor Speedway, formerly known as the Atlanta International Raceway, opened in 1960, located at 1500 Tara Place, Henry County, Georgia, Hampton, Georgia, to be exact, down there in the Peach State. Capacity 111,000, 1.5 mile quad oval, asphalt, and so it's actually getting repaved after this weekend, which is some news that's making its way around. Bankings at the corner is 24 degrees, and at the straights it is 5. Lap record 224.163 miles per hour. Billy Boat, Conseco, AJ Foyt Racing, 1998 IRL Indy Car Series. Let's do it. We got the schedule. Attention racing fans, it is now time for the official Motorsports Radio Podcast Network racing schedule. Only NASCAR this weekend. NHRA has the week off. IndyCar Formula 1 still a little bit away, although we're getting there. But it all starts with a double header on Saturday, starting Saturday afternoon with the Xfinity Series racing, Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 and PRN, and that's for the Renai 250 with 163 advertised laps. And this is why I walked away from the mic for a second before, because they came out with the lengths for all the stages, but we'll get to that before we cut out of here. And now we get to Saturday evening. Now,